The manhunt continues in Stockton for this man, 55-year-old Randy Francis. He is accused of attacking his 86-year-old mother and tying up a man who let him inside that apartment.
And it was an early end to a match between the Sac Republic and UC Davis soccer team after a scuffle on the field. Tension so high, the police were called in.
And on some lighter notes this morning, all those runners out there with some Irish spirit getting ready for the Shamrock Half Marathon. It's happening today at Rayleigh Field. We'll bring you the latest coming up next on News 10 Mornings.
This is News 10 Mornings.
Good Sunday morning, and thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday, March 15th. I'm Dina Kupfer.
And I'm Irene Cruz, and thank you so much for waking up with us. We're also here with News 10's Darla Gibbons.
Hi.
Yes.
And we have a special friend.
And Bubba.
Bubba.
Little Bubba.
Look at how cute he is.
This
He's
little
shaky.
guy is adorable. He's
Do you want to
available.
go over there to Dina?
Come here, Bubba. Come here.
You want to go over?
Come on.
He is so cute.
Okay, so he's
Hi,
our adoptable pet of the weekend from the
Yes.
Stockton Animal Shelter, and he is only 3 months old. So anyone looking for a pup,
Look at how cute.
this little guy needs a good home. And if this doesn't do the trick to get him adopted, I don't know what will. And today's going to be a nice day to get an animal, go outside, maybe, perhaps.
It is. I think he's a little camera shy. Yeah, beautiful weather out today. I mean, okay, you know how we talked about, hey, if you didn't go out on Saturday, go out today?
Yeah.
It was even warmer on
was-
Sunday.
Oh, wow.
It was,
Okay.
Yeah. 84 degrees.
Yesterday.
In
Wow.
Sacramento. So we definitely broke a record for Sacramento. Let's go outside right now and take a look to see how things are shaping up this morning. Clear skies, or should I say a clear shot here looking at the Tower Bridge, but we do have some clouds in the area. No rain. I'll let you know where the rain is and if it'll get here. 59 degrees in Sacramento. We're at 58 in Stockton. Look at Marysville. You guys are at 61 in Tahoe. 56 degrees. It's the cloud cover. It's acting as a blanket, keeping us nice and warm. Okay, let's talk about those records. Yesterday, 85 degrees in downtown Sacramento, 84 for Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto. Now, some of these records, the one at Sac Executive dates back to 1972. So yeah, very, very warm. And we're looking at another warm day. We'll see 59 degrees this morning, around 67 at the noon hour, and then 75 this afternoon. I don't think we'll break any records today, but that high pressure, it is in control of the weather pattern. We are picking up a bit of rain showers to the north of our area. I'll let you know if it's going to make its way here to the valley.
All right, Darla, thank you. Turning now to the top local stories we're following for you. Police say they are on the lookout for this man, 55-year-old Randy Francis. Investigators say that Francis attacked his 86-year-old mother and then tied up a man who let him inside of his mother's apartment. His mother is not expected to survive. This all unfolded yesterday afternoon at a home near Pacific Avenue and Brookside Road in Stockton. Police say after the attack, Francis fled the scene in a stolen truck. Investigators describe him as a man 5'11", weighing 175 pounds. He was last seen driving a 2004 Chevy Silverado pickup. Police say he is armed with a shotgun and could potentially be dangerous. So if you see this person, call 911 immediately.
Well, it was an early end to a match between Sac Republic and the UC Davis Aggies soccer team after a scuffle on the field.
The tension so high, police needed to be called in. It left fans bewildered as to what really happened there on the field. News 10's Carlos Saucedo was in Davis and spoke with club officials after that incident.
What was supposed to be a friendly scrimmage game between two soccer teams got heated, enough that the match had to end early.
We came here to play the game in the right way. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case today.
The Sacramento Republic FC were at UC Davis playing the Aggies Saturday afternoon, and multiple yellow cards were issued. At halftime, there was an altercation, and Republic assistant head coach Adam Smith was kicked out of the game. Then, in the 65th minute, a Republic player was penalized for a hard tackle and walked off the pitch.
You know, one of our players, James Kiffey, had a red card pulled on him for a tackle on the sideline. You know, something we felt was probably not necessarily due.
At the same time, another Republic player was yellow carded after he went to talk to the referee, and that's when the head coach said he'd seen enough.
The game got out of control, you know, and it was time for us to walk off. We can't afford any injuries at the moment.
Coach Preki stopped the game and called his players off the field.
I've told the referee from the beginning, hey, I'm watching everything, and if things don't go the right way, we'll pull the group out.
You can see the Aggies were the only players on the field at that point with a puzzled look on their face. A disappointing day for fans who came out to watch.
We really want to apologize to the fans who came out both to support, both teams today. But this is also sometimes the passion of sports and sometimes what happens.
Sac Republic was leading 1-0 when the game abruptly ended and tensions were high on both sides. Now this was the final friendly game for Sac Republic. Their season doesn't begin until March 21st. In the newsroom, Carlos Salcedo, News 10.
It's 6:05 now, and police are already out well ahead of St. Patrick's Day to crack down on drunk drivers. This was the DUI checkpoint at Northgate Boulevard and Patio Avenue in Natomas last night. Officers say historically, St. Patrick's Day weekend is one full of violent crashes, and they add checkpoints can curb those wrecks and save lives.
We're kind of being out here to remind everybody not to drive impaired, and so a checkpoint is our most visible way of reaching out to the public to make sure they're aware that they need to plan a ride.
And officers say planning ahead means to start before drinking begins. They say that means have a taxi or a ride-sharing service ready, or have a friend who has not been drinking drive you home.
Community leaders are discussing the future of health care for illegal immigrants. In 2009, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors started a policy banning county health care services to illegal immigrants. Groups like the Building Communities Coalition say illegal immigrants can't maintain their health or treat diseases at affordable costs. And the board is expected to take up the issue again on Wednesday. It will be held at the Sacramento County office from 2 until 5.
UC Davis veterinarian students worked at a clinic this weekend. The city is threatening to shut it down. The Mercer Clinic in Sacramento mainly treats pets that are homeless, but the city says their building is racking up code violations. The clinic is now on a trailer after their old building was torn down. Volunteers have set up a GoFundMe page to pay for repairs and the needed city permits.
And members of the Civil Air Patrol were honored this weekend with the Congressional Gold Medal. It's been 69 years since the United States ended World War II. The men and women of the greatest generation served their country for nearly 4 years. Stephen Patty was among the recipients. He flew planes to check for submarines along the Gulf of Mexico and the border of Mexico between 1942 and 1944. He says the times were tough, with fuel rations, little pay, and even hostility from people living nearby the base.
There were times that if we were near a military base, we couldn't tell them what we were doing because everything we did was secret. And we were called 4Fs, or draft dodgers, even though we were in uniform. We couldn't protect or defend ourselves and tell them that, hey, we're doing what the Army can't do and the Navy can't do.
Shirley Trim was another one of the recipients as she served as a cadet for the CAP in the San Francisco area during the war before continuing her teaching career. Other recipients have since died and their families accepted the Congressional Gold Medal on their behalf.
A wounded soldier now has a home to call his own. It was a custom-built one just for him in the Woodland area. The Woodland Daily Democrat reports Army Staff Sergeant Alex Haraji was arriving by helicopter and greeted with American flags. Dozens of friends wanting to see him and his family there. The 29-year-old lost both legs and suffered injuries to his right hand and forearm when he stepped on an IED in Afghanistan nearly 3 years ago. The staff sergeant says after 11 years of service, he can now focus on being a good husband and father. After recovering at his parents' house in Williams, he now has the keys to his brand new home in Woodland, built by Homes for Our Troops.
Well, if you've got a library card collecting dust, it's now got a new lease on life thanks to a $10,000 grant. I got the chance to take a look inside the first library of things on what you can take home.
Sewing machines, musical instruments, board games.
It sounds like a list of things you'd buy at a specialty store.
Right now, everything's brand new.
But starting Saturday, these are items you don't need to own to use. You can borrow and keep them for up to 3 weeks. The new collection, called the Library of Things, was unveiled at the Arden Branch Saturday afternoon.
We wanted the public, the people who use the library, to have real input on what happens at the library.
What goes into the new collection is voted on by community members. More than 4,000 votes were cast.
This might be the first time that libraries have offered the public the chance to vote on what items, what things they'd like to circulate.
About 60 items were voted into the collection, and it's anything but slim pickings. Video games, board games, even a bike station.
And then there will be more items added to the Library of Things over the next few weeks and months.
The top vote, sewing machines.
And it came up again and again. That's what people wanted.
And if you want to borrow something you're not exactly savvy with, there's hope for you yet.
All of the items that we've purchased, we're going to have classes associated with them.
Because I've always really wanted to learn how to sew and repair my own clothes and maybe make a sweet pair of shorts.
Who knows where it could go? More items, more voting rounds. We'll just have to see what the public demand is.
And if the program is successful, the goal is to expand it to all branches in Sacramento.
What a great program. All right, well, happening today, thousands of runners will hit the streets of Sacramento for the Shamrock Half Marathon. It is going to pick up a little later this morning, and the race starts and ends at Rayleigh Field. Online registration is now closed for this race, but you still can register on site if you want to head out this morning, and that kicks off a little bit later. Always a good sight to see, Irene. A lot of people wearing green, gold, themed, decked out for St. Patrick's Day.
They're definitely feeling the spirit.
Yes, they are. All right, 6:11 now on your Sunday, and still ahead, if you are looking for a furry friend, we are bringing back our Stockton Animal Shelter Pet of the Weekend. This is Bubba, and he is only 3 months old, a little baby Chihuahua, and in that outfit, who can't take him home?
He's
right?
irresistible.
Irresistible. We'll tell you how you can adopt him next on News 10 Mornings. It's 6:14 now on your Sunday morning, and a few of our stories upset our viewers this week on Tell 10.
Well, from the flag ban at UC Irvine, the arena sculpture, and the Sacramento Beer Fest, here's Dale Shornack with this week's Tell 10.
There are a bunch of things that aggravate me, but this flag thing.
The American flag and all flags banned from the lobby at UC Irvine.
That led to an American flag being removed from a lobby wall.
Student council voted for the ban, and down came Old Glory. Oh, say, can you tell 10?
Leave our red, white, and blue alone. There are men that have died so that you could say what you want to say about it. Don't ban it from buildings publicly owned. That is next to communism.
This is America, and if you don't like it, go home.
The flag ban prompted a lot of angry phone calls, but nowhere close to the number of people who, again this week, took aim at the arena sculpture.
Just wait until our Bleeding Heart Liberal Council approves it tonight, and they will approve it.
Yes, they did, unanimously.
Well, I'm very disappointed with the decision that the city council made. It's still major expensive. It still left out our people. It represents nothing of Sacramento.
A veteran gave this country almost 40 years of his life, and now he might lose what's left of it as he waits for help from the VA. Curtis Madison, battling tumors that he believes were caused by depleted uranium used in weapons, but his cancer claims were denied.
A trial medication could be his only hope, but it's not FDA approved, so his insurance won't cover it.
Too bad he's not a murderer on death row. He'd be getting all the medical help he needed. All you have to do is be in our prison system, and you get all the medical help you need.
A GoFundMe campaign is raising money to buy him the trial medication that could save his life. Beer Week in Sacramento, but one caller thought our coverage was in poor taste. We reported on the growth of the craft beer industry and the fun of sampling local brews, but was that promoting dangerous behavior?
Hundreds of people sitting there getting slopping drunk. How many people are going to die tonight because some drunk killed them? I don't think crap like this should be going on. Go have a beer tasting contest. Let's see who can get drunk faster.
We saw no one getting sloppy drunk. No one was killed. People behaved responsibly, and it was not a drinking contest. A lot of tough criticism this week, but we like to end on a positive note.
Dale Shornack, your face looks creepy. Your hair looks like it.
Well, we're out of time. More of your calls next week on Tell 10.
Oh, okay. How can someone knock Dale Shornack's hair? It is the best TV hair.
TV hair.
I haven't seen a man's head of hair so it's perfectly placed every night.
That was such an interesting way to end that one.
I loved it.
All right.
We love your comments.
All right, so let us know what you think about anything you see in our newscasts. You can call the number there on your screen, 916-321-3232.
I really do. I admire Dale's hair. How does he make it stay so well? All right, well, in case you missed it, NASA had a successful billion-dollar launch from Cape Canaveral on Friday. The Atlas rocket put 4 new satellites in orbit, and NASA is now hoping to learn a whole lot from them. Each one will spend the next 2 years collecting data on the magnetic fields between Earth and the Sun. The satellites will fly in a pyramid formation and study something called magnetic reconnection. So basically that is studying explosions in space. NASA considers this a high priority research excursion.
Well, time now to take a check of your full weather forecast. Good morning, Darla. What's happening this morning?
Good morning. We have a new forecaster here.
Oh, okay.
I'm so in love with this little puppy here.
You better watch your job, lady.
I know, huh?
Might take it.
Might take it, but I'll hand him over to Alice in just a moment. But just wanted to give him some more love.
He is just too cute.
And you know what? If you have pets today, go take him for a walk. It's going to be really nice out there. Temperatures warming up again today, not quite as warm as what we saw yesterday. Let's go outside right now. I still want to show you HD Doppler. Nothing in our area, but let's go to the north of it. And this is where we're starting to see some rain moving into Northern California. He's scratching on my mic here. Come here, bub. Let me go put you down over here. So Northern California, picking up some light rain in the area. You can see Crescent City, also the Redding area. But as far as we're concerned, we have that area of high pressure, so it's kind of keeping things to the north of our region. But let's zoom in here just a little bit. Our Futurecast model now. Will we see a shower? I don't think so. Most of the rain is going to stay to the north. Some of the heavier rain moving between Redding and Chico. We might pick up a shower, though, or two, at least for the Sierra. You might see a rain shower moving through the area, but I think for the most part, we are going to have clouds here in the valley. The one thing we'll have some strong winds, especially across the Sierra. We have an advisory in effect. We'll get some wind gusts up to they'll increase 20 to 30 miles per hour. They'll start off at about 15 to 25 miles per hour and then gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and that'll create those waves up to 3 to 5 feet. Here in the valley, we won't be left out with the winds. It'll be breezy, but not quite as strong as the Sierra. We'll get some gusts here at around 30 miles per hour. So high pressure, that's in control of our weather pattern. You can see how that jet stream has that moisture just to the north of our area. That low pressure system out in the Pacific, it's fueling that moisture. The closer it would be to us, then we'd have the likelihood of seeing the rain, but it's staying to the north, and that's what we're going to see for the rest of the day. Now, fast forward ahead to next Friday. We'll see a chance for some rain once again, but like I said, this one I think it's going to stay to the north of our area as well, and even into Saturday. Maybe by Sunday we might see some drops slipping into our region. We see Stockton, nice clear skies out. Sacramento, we have some clouds in the area. 59 degrees for Sac at this hour. We won't have much of a change in our temperatures this morning. 61 degrees in Marysville with 56 in Tahoe. Highs today in Tahoe warming up to around 73. We'll see 70s across the foothills. We'll see a chance for some rain and snow in the Sierra Tuesday and perhaps Wednesday. That's when we'll have a slight chance for a shower there. 73 in San Francisco, cooling down just a bit. 78 in Oakland. We'll see upper 70s and low 80s for the northern San Joaquin Valley. Maybe 84 degrees in Patterson, and mid and upper 70s for the Sacramento region. We will stay in the 70s for the next 10 days or so as we take a look at our 10-day planner, and next chance we'll possibly see rain perhaps next Saturday, but until then we are going to stay dry. You took my friend, didn't you, Dina?
I took your friend.
Man.
You better watch out. Darla, thank you. It is now time for our pet of the weekend with the Stockton Animal Shelter, and we've been introducing you to this little guy all morning long. This is Bubba and Alice Baker. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, tell everybody about this adorable little guy.
He is a sweet little 3-month-old
He
Chihuahua.
sure is.
He loves to chase you around and cuddle, and he's just adorable.
Okay, we're gonna put him down so people can see just how tiny he is. Come on, Bubba. Okay, so he's a little Chihuahua. Tell people about the temperament of the Chihuahua typically, and normally what you would need to do to care for a puppy chew. I know 3 months old, there's a little bit of work involved.
Yeah, you're going to have to potty train him, and so you're gonna have to potty train him, gonna have to try and make sure that he doesn't bark as surely as he can, and just be on him about it, and just give him lots of love and kisses.
Okay, so if somebody wants to adopt him, where's he going to be today?
He will be at the Stockton Animal Shelter's mobile adoption event on Trinity Parkway from 11 to 3.
There he is. We're trying to let him run around so you can get a good idea of how tiny he is. Okay, you guys have a promotion going on right now. Choose your luck, choose your adoption fee, and this goes through March 29th. So what does somebody need to do? They get to just pick a price and that's theirs?
Yes, it's only for animals 6 months and older, but this Saturday we will be having a party where all animals will be free, choose your adoption fee for Saturday at the party at the Stockton Animal Shelter at 1575 South Lincoln Street.
Okay, well, we're gonna let this little guy just continue to roam free. Actually, I think I need to grab him because he wants up. And Darla might come take him if I don't take him. Alice, thank you so much for being in this morning. And again, this little guy needs to be adopted. Bubba, 3 months old.
Dina, tell him we named him.
And yeah, we named him this morning. We chose the name. So if you don't like it, that's fine. You can rename him, but thanks again, Alice.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll be right back after
Please
this
adopt,
break.
don't shop.
Hi, Bubba. Hi. It is 6:25 now, and the Kings continue to struggle on their longest road trip of the season. Just can't seem to catch a break.
Plus, the latest high school basketball playoff highlights over the weekend, including an upset. Here's News 10's Brian May with this weekend's sports.
Well, thanks and good morning. Ryan Yamamoto has the day off. He took the day off to celebrate the birthday of beloved British actor Michael Caine. Kings head coach George Karl admitted that his guys were tired. He said the 8-game road trip had taken its toll. Kings going to finish that road trip 2-6. They played their final game yesterday evening. Kings taking on the Washington Wizards. No Rudy Gay in this game, although in hindsight, I don't know that they would have won with Rudy playing. And that's hard to say because the Kings actually jumped out to a 21-point lead early in the second half. They led by 18 at halftime, and a night after dropping 39 points and 24 rebounds on the Sixers the night before. DeMarcus Cousins last night, 30 points, 6 boards, but in an all too familiar scene, the Kings built and then lost that huge lead. They lost a 21-point lead in the third period, and then they only scored 12 points in the fourth. 113-97. Kings lose by 16.
Sustaining it on the road is a difficult thing to do, especially when you're shorthanded. I'm sure the video will show a lot of great stuff, but you know, he's a good team on their home court in a kind of a win situation, you know, dominated us.
So the longest road trip of the season is finally over. The Kings, I mentioned, went 2-6 over those 8 games. Kings landed back in Sacramento last night. They're going to have today off, and then tomorrow they play the team with the second best record in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks. That'll be in Sleep Train Arena on Monday. High school basketball from last night, second round of the NorCal Championships. Both the boys and girls were in action, and let's get started to all the highlights. We had a lot of games that we covered last night, and we're going to start this. This is number 7 Berkeley at number 2 Sheldon. This is boys Division I. The Huskies with their work cut out for them. Sheldon, a young team, taking Folsom to the distance in the section championships last weekend. Matthew Manning, a big reason why. Check him out. Hoop in the harm. Huskies put up a great fight, but 7th-seeded Berkeley pulls off the upset of 2nd-seeded Sheldon. 79-74 was the final. 2 Wood Creek last night. Timberwolves hosting Freedom from over in Oakley. T-Wolves the 4 seed. Freedom number 12. This is Division I. Malcolm Thomas igniting that Wood Creek offense. And then check out the delivery from Don Corden to the big freshman Jordan Brown. The two-handed finish, 17 points for Brown. Noah Blackwell leading the way with 21. 4th-seeded Wood Creek moves to the D1 semifinals with a 70-59 win over Freedom. The road, though, to the state championship does not come easy. Timberwolves next play at top-seeded De La Salle on Tuesday. At Sac High last night, the number 1 seed in boys Division II, the Sac High Dragons hosting 9th-seeded San Marin. Second half action, Dragons home white. That's Christian Terrell, and that's what the kids are calling an and one. Dragons up 20. Later, San Marin on offense, shot partially blocked by Solomon Young. Defense leading the offense. Savon Hines pushes it up, can't get his layup to fall, but Young there to mop it up and throw it down. Top-seeded Sakai moves to the regional semifinals with an 11-point win over San Marin. The Dragons will host 4th-seeded St. Mary's on Tuesday. And let's finish up last night with the girls' Division I. Top-seeded McClatchy hosting 8th-seeded Davis. Christy Wong kickstarts the Lady Lions. The lay-in, McClatchy up 22-9 after one, and McClatchy never looked back. Top-seeded Lions move to the regional semifinals with a 23-point win over Davis. McClatchy will host 5th-seeded Pittsburgh on Tuesday. And let me finish this morning with just a little football for you. Yesterday, the San Francisco 49ers signed 30-year-old running back Reggie Bush. Bush was released by the Detroit Lions back in February. He played just 11 games last year, 76 carries. That's for the season. Less than 300 yards rushing. Did have a couple of touchdowns. I think the reaction from most Niner fans on the signing kind of, it's not going to change much for them. They lost Frank Gore. They get Reggie Bush. Have yourself a great Sunday. I'll see you tonight at 6, 11, and tonight on the Toyota Sports Extra.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. And still ahead on News 10 Mornings, it's something we all do. Give someone a nice, good handshake, customary greeting. But it also comes with something we don't want, and that would be germs. Darla has more on what we can do to politely decline a handshake.
This is News 10 Mornings.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Irene Cruz.
And I'm Dina Kupfer. We did not call each other this morning, I promise. We just seem to have the same mind. And you know who else has the same mind? Darla Givens. You also like to match what we wear in the mornings.
Oh, when you talk about you guys have the same mind and you have my mind, you don't want my mind, girl. You don't want to know what's going on all up in here.
Oh, we love your mind. We love your crazy mind.
You got that right. Well, you know what? Weather-wise, it's going to be a beautiful day. Get out there and enjoy. It's not going to be quite as warm as the records we saw yesterday, but overall, we're in for beautiful conditions. Outside right now, we do have some clouds in the area, and temperatures are hovering in the upper 50s throughout many valley locations. Marysville, you're the only exception. You're at 61 degrees right now. Tahoe, 56 degrees. It is warm thanks to the cloud cover. As we go through the day, we'll get up to 77 degrees. I don't think we'll quite make it to that record of 82 today, but we did break some records yesterday. We do have some rain in the area, but unfortunately, it is staying to the north of our region, and you know what? The rain would come in and wash away the pollens, but unfortunately, we're looking at some high counts, especially for trees throughout the region. That includes Roseville and Stockton. Moderate levels for grasses and weeds in the Stockton area, and for the Roseville region, grasses are in the moderate range, and moderate for mold for Stockton and low for mold here. And you know, it is allergy season, and it's something that we do. We shake hands. It's a customary greeting, but how do you gracefully say, you know what, thank you, but no thank you to a handshake, especially after you see someone cough or sneeze with or without a Kleenex?
Trees with blossoms are a sign of allergy season. Those who suffer from seasonal allergies do a lot of this and this. And while a tissue adds some protection from bodily fluids, some cooties can still end up on your hands.
You know, I think a lot of people are worried, because they're worried, does this person have allergies or do they have a cold? Is this contagious or not contagious?
When you see someone doing this, and how about a handshake?
Probably not.
Oh, sorry, no thanks, but I'm kind of like a germaphobe.
Etiquette coach Rebecca Black says there is a polite way to say thanks, but no thanks to the common greeting.
If I'm feeling under the weather, I will just say, it's so wonderful to meet you. I shake your hand, but...
Black says handshakes are instinctive. But what if you're the one with the allergies and you extend your hand in a friendly gesture?
Especially nowadays, to say, I'm so sorry. Please don't do anything with that hand until you wash it.
Allergist Greg Bench says for some, it goes much deeper.
They've done studies of sort of the social stigmas of suffering from allergy, and it really has resulted in people having poor self-esteem.
But those folks might be relieved to know not all germs are bad germs.
I would say that the vast majority of microbes on the planet are neutral from the point of view of human health. They don't hurt us. They don't help us. They don't care about us.
So everybody said, you know what, wash your hands. If you know you suffer from allergies, I keep a big old thing of disinfectant over there, which is not good because you're getting rid of the good bacteria as well. So,
Okay.
And here's the deal too. They swabbed my hands.
Yeah.
I washed them.
Okay.
Hopefully I washed them well. So we swabbed my hands before and after I sneezed into my hands.
Okay.
To see how many germs are on there.
And?
So we're going to get the results back this week.
Oh,
so tune in. So we'll have that.
So
yeah.
I'm still interested. I know the debate has always been between the hand sanitizer and washing. Washing is always the better option.
Right. Yeah.
But when you're in a pinch, I know I carry my little sanitizer with me, and we're going out on stories. It's so easy, and it's a nice gesture to shake. But that tip there, where she said, if you're the person carrying the allergies, just say sorry.
Right.
Go wash your hands. Yeah.
It's a very good tip to have, definitely.
It is.
All right, ladies, don't touch me.
Stay away.
Just stay away. I need my bubble.
Oh, all right, Darla, thank you for that story. All right, we want to turn now to some other top local stories we're following for you. It was an early end to a match between the Sac Republic and the UC Davis Aggies soccer team after a scuffle on the field.
The scuffle so intense, police were called in as a precaution, leaving fans bewildered as to what really happened. The Sacramento Republic FC were playing at UC Davis and the Aggies Saturday afternoon, and multiple yellow cards were issued. At halftime, there was an altercation, and Republic assistant head coach Adam Smith was kicked out of the game. Then in the 65th minute, a Republic player was penalized for a hard tackle and walked off the pitch. That's when the head coach said he'd seen enough.
The game got out of control, you know, and it was time for us to walk off. We can't afford any injuries at the moment.
We really want to apologize to the fans who came out both to support, both teams today. But this is also sometimes the passion of sports and sometimes what happens.
And Sac Republic was leading 1-0 when the game abruptly ended. Now, this was the last friendly match for the Sac Republic. Their regular season begins March 21st.
Turning now to St. Patrick's Day, and law enforcement and police already out well ahead of the green and gold holiday to crack down on drunk drivers. It was the DUI checkpoint at Northgate and Northgate Boulevard and Patio Avenue in Natomas last night where they were stationed. Officers say historically St. Patrick's Day weekend is one of the most violent days for crashes, and they add that checkpoints can curb those wrecks and save lives. And drivers aren't all they are looking for this weekend. They want to see your ID as well. So here's the latest statistics. Out of nearly 100 law enforcement agencies across our state, 412 arrests and citations have been made over this weekend so far. That's according to the Alcoholic Beverage Control Department, and 69 of those are from right here in our area. Most cited for giving alcohol to minors. Remember, they were out with their shoulder tap sting operation this weekend. 22 others arrested for crimes like illegal drug possession and outstanding warrants.
Now to some headlines from around the state. In San Francisco, 4 police officers are under investigation for allegedly sending racist and homophobic texts. The court documents were filed on Friday. The San Francisco Chronicle reports the texts were made between officers and members of the public.
The department's currently conducting an investigation into officers showing extreme bias, and this is bias that's not conducive with being a police officer.
The officers have been reassigned, and an internal investigation is also underway. The names of the officers have not been released.
6:39 on your Sunday, and a fire at a San Bernardino apartment complex destroyed 10 cars and damaged 2 units. The fire broke out just before 1 a.m. yesterday. It began in the carport before spreading to the apartment building. Firefighters knocked down the fire in about 20 minutes, but 2 families were displaced as a result of this. No injuries reported, fortunately, and no word yet on what caused that fire. Now in stories across America, the Obama administration is warning Congress to back off and let the U.S. continue negotiations with Iran over its nuclear program. The White House delivered a letter late Saturday to Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Bob Corker, saying that pending legislation likely would have a profoundly negative impact on the ongoing talks with Iran. The letter came as Secretary of State John Kerry prepares another sit-down with Iranian officials in Switzerland today. If an agreement is not reached by the end of the month, Kerry says that an extension of talks would be unlikely.
One person died and 3 others had to be rescued after a tugboat sank near the Long Island coastline yesterday. The Coast Guard says the tugboat sank around 2 p.m. yesterday off Fire Island, a barrier island running along Long Island's south shore. The 3 people rescued were wearing an immersion suit, and the crew member who died was not. The victim's name has not been released, and the Coast Guard says the water was only 37 degrees. No word yet on what caused the boat to sink.
Thousands gathered peacefully yesterday in Madison to remember a 19-year-old biracial person. This man was shot by police, Tony Robinson, and he died March 6th after an altercation with officers who say he assaulted another officer. A preliminary autopsy found Robinson was shot in the head and torso and right arm. It did not say if he was facing or turned away from the officer. His death was the latest in a string of police shootings nationwide that have sparked racial tensions. And it is 6:41 now, and still to come on News 10 Mornings, March is a very important month when it comes to what goes into your body, right? We want to make sure we're eating healthy.
Very true.
It is National Nutrition Month, and this morning our topic has to do with eating right with a lot of color, I might add. Look at all that. Yeah, and we'll have the details with our expert straight after the break. 6:44 on your Sunday, and I know I got out in the sun yesterday. Irene, Darla, how about you guys?
A little bit. It was fantastic weather yesterday. Such nice weather.
It was.
I spent my time indoors.
Oh.
Shopping.
Well,
okay. That makes up for it.
That is your own fault, Darla Gibbons.
I know. I didn't realize how nice it was.
You're the weather person. You're the meteorologist.
No, but you walk from your car to the store, and,
That was your fair share of sunshine.
Start looking at the racks, find the deals. Which, by the way, you found a few deals yesterday.
I did. How funny. Okay, let's talk about the weather. Let's forget about the shopping. Outside, we are looking at some clouds, at least here in the valley, but no rain. I think all the rain is going to stay to the north of our area. 59 degrees, and I think we'll pretty much hold steady at 59 throughout the morning. Winds are calm for now, but we're going to see those winds increasing, especially later this afternoon. We'll get some gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So I mentioned no change. Around 9 o'clock, we'll still see highs right around, or temperatures right around 59, 67 at noon, and 75 degrees this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Our average high is 65 degrees, and wow, we're really warm this morning already. 62 in Oroville at this hour. We've dropped down just a bit. Good morning in Marysville at 58 degrees out. 58 also for Stockton. Modesto 57, and it is very warm in the Sierra. We're looking at temperatures there in the 50s. It's this area of high pressure. It's bringing the really nice conditions. I mean, yesterday we broke some records. I'll get to that in just a moment. But notice where the rain is. It's to the north of us. So we have this low. If it were a little closer, we could see some of that rain pushing into our area, but I think it's going to stay Redding and Red Bluff and maybe Chico area. Okay, let's talk about those records now. Yesterday, yes, March 14th, we broke some records throughout the valley. We had the mid 80s going on yesterday. Downtown Sacramento, 85, 84 for Sac Executive, Stockton and Modesto. All those older records are set back. One of them in 1972. That was at Sac Executive. Okay, here's what we have. Futurecast model now showing the rain to the north of our region. We're just going to see the cloud action, and the shower activity I think is going to stay between maybe Redding and Chico area. The Sierra, you might pick up a shower or two later this afternoon, but then I think that's about it. One thing, the winds are going to start to increase. We'll see them increasing out of the southwest to 20 to 30 miles per hour. Those are going to be the steady winds, and then we'll see them slacking off a bit during the overnight hours, but we'll get wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Today in the Sierra, 63 degrees out in the foothills. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s. It's going to be really nice out. Go out and maybe get a hike in. We could see a chance of a shower or two passing through the high country Tuesday into Wednesday. And then taking a look at San Francisco, 73 degrees out. It will be warmer as you get to the inland areas, 78 in Oakland, 79 in Antioch. We'll have mid and upper 70s for the northern San Joaquin Valley, with the exception of Turlock. Try 84 degrees out. We'll see mid and upper 70s in the Sacramento region once again. So we'll stay in the 70-degree range. Temperature still running about 10 degrees warmer than average. Maybe next Saturday we could see some rain finally moving to the valley, but right now the indications it'll stay to the north of us once again. So keeping our fingers crossed that something will come in to help get us out of this I don't want to say drought period, but dry spell for March. Let's go over to Irene now.
All right, thank you so much, Darla. We're definitely keeping our fingers crossed for that. But switching gears here, March is a very important month when it comes to what goes into your body. It is National Nutrition Month, and joining us to speak about how to eat right is Wendy Greger, and she's with Sutter Medical Foundation. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Irene.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yes.
So today we're talking about health, and you know, we have dietary guidelines that are usually redone and updated every 5 years. So can you tell us a little bit about those guidelines and when they're going to be updated soon?
Yes, we're in the update year right now.
Okay.
In fact, a preliminary report was released in February, and we've moved into what's called the comment period, and that's why there's been a flurry of conversation in the social media, on broadcast and print. Everybody's talking about the guidelines right now. The highlights from the guidelines indicate that Americans are still eating too many refined grains, too much saturated fat, which is the bad fat, and too much added sugar and salt. So what I've brought for you today is what I call the antidote to all that ails the American diet.
So this is sort of a visual representation of what Americans should be eating on a daily basis. Is that correct?
That's right. This is an example of one day's food intake following the guidelines. The graphic for the guidelines is called My Plate, and lunch gives us a chance to demonstrate the My Plate message really well. We've got half of the plate covered with fruits and vegetables. A quarter of your plate is the whole grain, the brown and wild rice, and a quarter of your plate are beans, which I've chosen to represent your protein as we're trying to move towards a more plant-based diet. And you can take all this delicious food, top it on your bed of spinach greens with a little bit of homemade dressing.
Oh, that looks fantastic, and I'm seeing a lot of color happening with these plates. Can you tell us a bit about what you should be having in terms of variety on your plate?
When you have color, you know that you're getting the important nutrients that are naturally in food. So our dinner, again, half of the plate is made up out of vegetables, a quarter of the plate is chicken, and notice how every meal, we haven't talked about breakfast, our oatmeal, sliced almonds, ground flaxseed, and fresh fruit. And every meal has a source of healthy fats. Breakfast, we've got sliced almonds. Lunch, we have the olive oil. And dinner, we've got avocado.
Oh, you're making me so hungry. And all this looks so fantastic, but what also is fantastic is the benefits. And we have a little screen for you to show us some of those benefits about following these My Plate guidelines. And you see it right there on your screen. So let's talk about it a little bit. First of all, you get to eat a lot of food.
You get a lot of food. I hope this looks like a lot for 1,200 calories. And when you're filling up on all these good foods, you can lose weight without feeling hungry, which is a real plus. And you have a lot more energy when you don't overeat. When we overeat at every meal, you feel tired, you feel lethargic.
Right.
You're not as productive. So that's our goal. Is being more productive, eating right.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here and sharing some of these wonderful guidelines with us, Wendy, and we really appreciate it. And remember, March is National Nutrition Month, so be sure to take care of your body in that way.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll have more after this break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Well, last year, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said the average time an employee stays with a company was just about 4.5 years.
Wow.
How about you guys?
I've been here
a little longer for Darla.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's all right. Well, one local delivery man is anything but average.
In 50 years with the same company, 70-year-old Ron Klein hasn't taken one sick day. Not one. Will Ueck from our sister station WKYC has this story.
Just about 25 miles southeast of Mansfield sits Perrysville, Ohio, a small town that's reliably quiet in the early morning. All except for the even more reliable sound of a delivery truck.
And I'll get it squared up here.
The person steering that big rig back and forth on Ohio's country roads is Ron Klein. Ron began with Mansfield Plumbing back in the winter of 1965. Now 50 years have come and gone, and Mr. Reliable 70-year-old Ron Klein is still there, never even taking a sick day.
So what are they changing the name to Klein Plumbing? Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. Yeah, you got to own that company by now.
He's here every day. He's got a smile on his face every day. He is got the best attitude of anybody here. I couldn't make him stay home.
Ron spent a lot of these past 50 years working next to family. 3 brothers also work for the company, along with his youngest son and oldest daughter. All in all, the Klein family has over 220 years at Mansfield Plumbing. But Ron didn't spend all of his time at work.
Our kids right there, the girls and the 2 boys.
He and his wife Lois had 11 kids, and Ron didn't miss the birth of any of them. In fact, doing what he perhaps does best, Ron delivered the last 4.
The last ones we had at home, and I delivered them. Well, Lois had a lot to do with that. But
we
yeah.
Just, we thought, why go to the hospital? We're getting good at this.
Now with 38 grandchildren, Ron continues to lead a busy life.
Come on.
Packed with birthdays, ball games, family functions, and of course, work. Each and every morning, as reliable as the sun, Ron climbs up in the cab and sets out on Ohio's open road. And retirement...
I haven't even thought about it.
Well, that's for the birds.
What would I do with it? No, I'm just teasing.
Wow, what a great story.
What a great guy and family looks like.
Such a big family, 38 grandchildren. 38. Well, he certainly has done it right, and he's setting a good example for all those kids. We want to mention, too, Wendy Greger, our dietitian who's in studio, says she's been with Sutter for 14 years. So well done, Wendy. Yes. Okay, warm day ahead.
It is going to be really warm out. Not quite as warm as yesterday. I mean, we did break some records yesterday at 84 degrees for SAC Executive, 85 in downtown. Today, we're looking at around 77 degrees, but some clouds out there as well. So the clouds will stick around. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any rain. It's going to stay to the north of us, but I'm hoping that next Saturday's system really comes together. But right now, it seems as if it's going to stay slightly to the north of our area. But look at those temperatures. Can't beat that.
You really can't. This is sunscreen weather. You should always be wearing it.
Always.
But just a reminder. Okay, we also have some special news. We want to congratulate our producer here at News 10, Bill Hudson. He and his wife welcomed their newest member of their family yesterday. So we have a photo for you all.
Oh my gosh, she's so little.
So cute. So this little baby girl is Elliot Grace Hudson, and she decided to come into the world a couple of weeks early, but she is doing very well. 7 pounds, 15 ounces, 20 inches long. She joins Dad, Mom, and her elated big sister, Elliot. So
Bill was actually supposed to be here this morning to produce the show.
He was busy. Well, well, congratulations to the Hudson family, and thanks for being here. We'll see you back here tomorrow.